What up, everybody? In Ghost Season 2, we met a man who I would consider the second most polarizing figure in the whole Power universe after James St. Patrick himself. Dante Spears, aka MECCA, had finally returned to New York after 24 years. But when he returned to New York, he was now living a double life. The streets knew him as MECCA, a ruthless drug kingpin and arms dealer, but the world knew him as Dante Spears, an international businessman. What Dante did was recreate himself into MECCA, a larger-than-life personality he would become to achieve what he wanted in life. Dante successfully utilized Power Law 25, recreate yourself. The book 48 Laws of Power says this concerning this law. Do not accept the role society has forced on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity. Be the master of your own image, rather than having others define it for you. At around 18 years old, Dante got roped up. They did not say what the crime was that he got arrested for, but he was given a choice to either go to prison or go to the military. So Dante chose the military and got shipped to Kuwait. Sometime later, Dante was working at the School of the Americas in the military, securing the Western Hemisphere, when he met a man named Lobos, who just knew he had a price. And I'm guessing it was around this time that the transformation from Dante to MECCA began. There's also a chance that Dante became MECCA to protect himself from all the snitching he was doing. It was said that he snitched on cartel bosses, arms dealers, and freedom fighters. The 48 Laws of Power says that your new identity will protect you from the world because it's not really you. This makes me to think that the reason he was most likely offered to join the military instead of going to prison is because he snitched on somebody. The year was around 1996, so I got to ask the question, could Dante be tied into Raising Kanan? Did Dante snitch on someone from that show? Possibly Dante is responsible for the Thomas family going to prison, or maybe Unique, his brother, or somebody else from Raising Kanan. This could also explain why he waited 24 years to return to New York. Then there was the fact he knew all that information about Tariq. Pay close attention to what he said to Tariq when he was looking for his bag. He knew inside information that only a handful of people knew. MECCA told Tariq, I know a lot about you, man. I know about your uncle, Tommy. I know about your dad, Ghost. I even know what you did to that. There was only a few people that knew that Tariq considered Tommy his uncle. Only a few people knew that James St. Patrick was Ghost. And only a handful of people knew that Tariq killed Ghost. I brought this up in a video several months ago, and people were trying to say he learned this information from Blanca Rodriguez because he was her CI. Yes, MECCA was Blanca's CI, but he couldn't have learned this information from her because she doesn't know that Tariq killed Ghost. There's only a handful of people who knew about this. That is Davis McLean, Cooper Sachs, Stephen Ott, Tasha, Tariq, and Tommy. If Blanca knew that Tariq killed Ghost, she would have already arrested him for that. But she was not in the room that day. So just like everybody else, as far as she knows, Tommy Egan killed Ghost. So you got to ask, how did MECCA know this information? Did he have a prior relationship with Ghost and Tommy Egan that we didn't know about? Maybe Tommy Egan told MECCA about this, or maybe Ghost is still alive and told MECCA about this himself. Monet also knew that Tariq killed Ghost, but at this point in time, Monet hadn't even figured out that Dante was MECCA. Moving on though, while Dante was living a double life as MECCA and Dante Spears, he was courting Monet in New York as Dante, all while being engaged to Noma as MECCA. This makes me question, what was MECCA's end game? Was MECCA going to snitch on Noma to get her out the way? We know that MECCA was trying to leave New York and disappear to paradise. Was this to run away from Noma? Noma's baby daddy, Francesco Lombardi, even knew about MECCA. When he got the listening device from Tariq, Francesco Lombardi put Tariq in some kind of armbar and asked if he was sent by MECCA. Remember, MECCA had snitched on arms dealers, so we got to wonder if Francesco Lombardi was one of the people that he snitched on. Also keep in mind, when we were first introduced to Noma in the beginning of Season 3, she told Tariq and the crew that MECCA had international protection and that he snitched on all her rivals. Also keep in mind, when Blanca found him dead, she called him Dante and not MECCA. Law enforcement likely didn't know about his other identity of MECCA. When Tariq and Sax was bringing Yaz to Tasha in witness protection, Tariq asked Sax about Dante Spears. And Sax told Tariq that if it wasn't for Dante Spears, that Eastern District would have never started looking into James St. Patrick in the first place. MECCA used his two identities to stay a step ahead of the Tejadas for almost all of Season 2. He had Kane moving weight for him, all while courting Monet at the same time. And neither one of them knew what was going on. He found out about Zeke, digging for information from Kane. Then told Monet that he figured out when he saw Zeke on TV. Then when Lorenzo got out of jail and Monet started switching up on him and saying he couldn't meet Zeke, he used this to control the options. MECCA took all his product from going to Kane and Monet and gave all his product to go to Lorenzo. While he was doing this, he was keeping everyone dependent on him. Monet still didn't know that he was living a double life. The 48 Laws of Power says concerning recreating yourself to play many roles, be whatever the moment requires. This is something MECCA used to his advantage all the way until the end when he was finally exposed. But MECCA was not the only person to use Power Law 25 and recreate himself. Monet did the same thing. MECCA said he wasn't getting anywhere searching Nene Stewart. Monet replied concerning that, that's because she is gone. At the end of Season 3, Monet told Diana that it was Lorenzo's idea to get them into the life and she just followed him. I question if that is the truth, or did Monet push Lorenzo into the life? Seeing she was already in a relationship with MECCA, who was in the game, she was either looking for another D-boy to get with, or she is the one who convinced Lorenzo to get into the game in the first place. One more question I have before finishing up this video that I will discuss in another video is, did MECCA learn this law from Breeze? Is Breeze someone who we already met from Raising Kanan, who just recreated himself into becoming Breeze? And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.